This is a video tutorial on Neon, the live version as it appears in Where the Light Is by John Mayer. I heard this a year ago and really freaked out over it. It was such an amazing piece. So I took 2 weeks and tabbed it out, looked at the video, slowed the audio down and tried to match everything up. And I got a likable version, at least to my ears. It's the way I hear it. So I'll have a tab in the description below so you can follow that. I would spend most of my time on that. I'm just going to go over the meat of it and point out some of the things because it really is a complex, fiddly little piece to teach somebody. So the first thing you're going to do is tune your guitar's 6th string down to a C. And that's pretty much the only alteration you've got to make to your tuning. The rest is in standard, but the low E is now a low C. And that's what he opens up with. He does that. And then a little 2-note chord slide up. That's the 6th fret and 7th fret on the 5th and 4th strings. And he slides it up. Sounds like a blues ending. But he does this. And then this bass run. Followed by a little chord snatch. So that's all on the low C string. Pretty straightforward. Sometimes he throws in the open A for a different sound, but for the most part it's always all on that low C. The little chord here, basically you bar your first finger on 3 strings, the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and then with your pinky or whatever you're comfortable with, I use my pinky, you put that on the 9th fret and get this kind of chord, and he slides it up. And he shakes it back and forth a little bit. And then he actually slaps it. And he starts into that business. So from the top. This is one of the little magical bits. He's doing this muted plucking, slapping thing, which is really cool. It's the first thing that caught my ears when I heard it, because I like that. He's almost like a bass player, you know. All that muted kind of ghost notey stuff, really awesome. And no one ever seems to get it, hear it, or play it, or tab it, or whatever. So this is what's going on there. He slaps, he plucks, he snatches the chord. Goes back to the bass riff. Really slow. Now I'll talk you through it. So what's going on there exactly with that plucky, slappy, chordy thing he's doing? Okay, what he's doing is he's slapping on the 4th string. Then he's kind of doing a muted pluck. Then he's snatching the chord. Then he's doing the muted pluck again. Then he's doing another slap. And then another muted pluck. And then he's doing the chord snatch. Then he's doing the muted pluck. And then he's coming back to slap on the C so you can do the bass run again. Kind of weird, eh? So check the tab out because it's hard to get. When he does it at performance speed, it's almost like a bouncy. And your thumb is really working hard. You'll get a callus where you never had a callus before. A couple other notes about this stuff. Sometimes he doesn't mute the string. Sometimes he does it open. Not all the time though. Other times his finger will wander over to the 7th fret harmonic and you'll get a more chimey sound. It's a combination of all those. It's just him feeling it and playing it. He never plays it the same way twice. Some YouTube guys I saw were playing the whole song like that, which sounds neat and interesting, but is not what he does. Yeah, get some ears, people. Then he does that 3 times. chord. It goes to like a 5 chord kind of on the 6th fret, kind of like power chord. And same kind of thing. So it's, in this case, it's a slap, pop, snatch, pop, slap, pop, snatch kind of thing. And then he does a run up. Slapping on the C, sound the open one, fret this chord, kind of the 7th fret on the low C. We're barring the 8th fret on the 4th and 3rd. Keeping that barred, but switching fingers and putting the 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the C. And then sliding it all up 2 frets. So slow it's... And then he does the same kind of thing, but he opens up with an open C slap. So again, if you guys aren't into the slapping, some people slap closer to the fingerboard to get a nice one. It works anywhere. It's important just to get a nice slap, and yeah, it's all on the wrist. Yeah, you can Google some videos on bass players and check that out. He slaps quite a bit in this song. After that, he starts this triplet thing, which is another cool bit. It's cool to the ear, and that sounds like this. Same chord run up after that. What he's doing there is he's involving the 1st finger now in muted plucking. So check out the tab for that one. But I can try and talk you through it. So it's it opens up with a slap, open C, snatch the chord, pop the 5th fret like muted, slap the 5th fret with your index finger, kind of pop, muted pop the 4th string, and then go right back, your thumb is already there, pop the, muted pop the 5th string, and then snatch the chord again, and then with your thumb still in place, pop it, and then slap on the low C, but a muted slap, so you can go back to that chord run up. So one more time. Alright, so we open with a slap on the C. We pluck, we snatch the chord open. We muted, kind of pop the 5th. We slap the 5th. We muted pop the 4th. We muted pop the 5th. We snatch the chord again, open. Immediately we muted pop the 5th, and then we slap, muted slap on the 6th string, and then move into the... Okay, so I'm going to loop that a couple times. One more time. So, does that a couple times. Then he goes back to the first thing he was doing. That was like a... But he throws a triplet on right after that. It's and he does a neat little chord slide up. And the chords are basically that same little shape we were doing before, but slide your 1st finger up to the 7th, and you basically slide this shape up a couple frets and back down. In time with the groove you got going. You notice I popped a little muted in there just before that. Whatever you need to keep on time and keep the thing surging forward, that's when you're going to do these whatevers, these little muted rhythmic pops. So he goes back to that. Second time, it's more like moving this entire chord. Slightly different timing on that second one. So the first one is, and the second one is like, the second one is, and he moves into this part, which is really cool. There's a lot going on here. He opens up with an open, and then this 2-note chord, which is 7th fret on the 5th, 8th fret on the 4th. You pull that, then you fret the 7th fret with your thumb. Get used to using your thumb on this. And we're fretting these 2 notes again. This is the 4th and 3rd strings at the 8th fret. And then this chord. Some people like to play this chord with this finger at the root instead, but Mayer plays it with the thumb and leaves the pinky out, because you can actually do a nice little augment there that you don't have available if it's busy working already. I guess you could bar it, but won't go there. So from the top, that one's like open. That fretted note on the 7th fret is almost always followed by a muted slap. Slap. And then he does variations on the bass lick. So that one's a open A, slide it up, and then bending on the 14th fret. Back to that thing again. He changes up the second time he goes in. He almost does like a triplet, like 2 2 4 5. I forgot the little slap. That's just a. So there's a lot of rhythmic slapping, popping that is just to keep the time. You know, picture a drum set, you get a snare and a bass in there. You can just kind of feel that's the thing he's going for. One of those was your snare, one of those was your bass. Then he gets into this, and this is a long kind of repeating thing, pedaling off the 10th fret and the 12th and the open. So pretty easy to figure out. He uses his thumb for it. I do the same thing. I know some people might do something else, but the thumb seems to work. I'm forgetting the different bass licks he does there. So yeah, check the tab out for that one. Kind of bends 14 up to 15. Sometimes he's bending on the 15. This is the neat part. So that's the 17th fret, bend up, sounding an 18, pulling back to 12, and then you can either go down to the 6th fret and bend it up to a 7th fret, or you can just go to the 7th fret and shake it. Back into that thing again. And variations on the bass lick. how he ends that first part. He kind of does either a harmonic on the third, fourth, second, and then 6 strings slide down from the fretted note. Sometimes it's kind of like, maybe it's not on the harmonic, it's maybe on the 11th fret where there's no harmonic, but it kind of sounds like it and it's muted. Then he goes into the... that's a dab for another time. I'll do the body of the song later on. So ends the first part of that. I'll put the second part up later on. That's the awesome solo he does in the middle. That's in the tab down there. You can kind of get started on that if you want. Hope you like it. I hope it wasn't too confusing. It's confusing to me to try to teach it because it's so fiddly. Catch you later.